Today's video is brought to you by Squarespace. Stay tuned until the end for a special offer. Hello dear friends, and thank you for watching today's newest oil painting time-lapse. This dark ethereal unicorn portrait is for an upcoming show at Corey Helford Gallery in LA, which, due to the current state of the world, is going to be a virtual show. You can check out my video description for all the details on how to join the gallery's opening night live stream. For today's video voiceover, I wanted to chat a bit about how to manage the stress and anxiety a lot of us may be feeling these days. So this video won't really be in a tutorial format. But if you are interested in seeing a 60-minute tutorial of this piece that includes a color mixing demo and a complete voiceover walking you through each layer step by step, you can check it out on my Patreon page at patreon.com/happydartist. Okay, back to today's topic of discussion. So it's been quite an unprecedented time in the world for these past few months, and I know many of you out there like myself are locked in at home right now with a little extra time on our hands and a lot of extra anxiety on our minds. I don't want to talk about all the current events, as I'm sure you've probably been absorbing enough of that from every other angle of the internet. It's kind of hard to avoid the seemingly endless onslaught of tragic and concerning headlines, so I really want my videos to be a relaxing break from all that chaos. I want to hopefully provide a serene space where you can clear your minds, find some inspiration, and just enjoy the therapeutic process of creating art. So for today's video, I'm just going to share a few tips on how to use art as a helpful resource to relieve stress and insert some normal into our lives. These are tips that have really worked for me in the past and especially nowadays. Even though now art is a career for me and a full-time job, it's always been a source of escape and almost like a safe haven from everyday life. So now more than ever, I've really tried to see art in the therapeutic hobby angle rather than the stressful job angle, as difficult as it may be. But as usual, I, of course, never claim that my ideas or my tips are the only way or the best way to do things. So please take everything I say with a grain of salt. And as usual, I always want to encourage everyone to explore their own methods, their own creative process to find out what suits your unique needs the best. But now that that disclaimer is out of the way, I'm going to start with my first tip, which is to stop checking your phone and turn off those notifications. I know this isn't specifically related to art, but it does heavily impact our creative flow. Information has become instantaneous nowadays, and we can access pretty much the entire world at the touch of our fingertips. If we let those floodgates open, we can drown in all this information that is so readily available and constantly refreshing and updating. So whether it's reading scary, depressing headlines or just becoming engrossed in social media, our phones can easily fill up our entire day. I don't know about you guys, but I always feel super drained and exhausted after spending too much time on my phone. So while it's important to stay connected to our loved ones, especially during a time like this, I would recommend still to set aside a few hours of phone-free time each day and instead use that time to just be present in the moment. The great thing about making art is that once you really get in the zone, it's almost like a meditative process. I love the feeling of being lost in a flow and completely silencing the outside world, focusing on nothing but the artwork in front of me. And without realizing it, hours can fly by, and I usually end up walking away from my easel feeling completely refreshed and rejuvenated, almost as if I had been meditating that entire time. This is why turning off my phone notifications is so crucial to maintain this steady, uninterrupted workflow. My second tip is to try to make your workspace as relaxing and serene and inviting as possible. Whether you have a separate studio space or even if you're just using a corner of another room to set up your workstation, try to keep that space tidy and organized. It's hard for me to feel calm or serene in a cluttered environment. So even if I don't have the time or energy to clean my entire house every day, I always make sure to keep my art studio in pristine condition. In addition to just being clean, it's also important for your creative space to feel inviting and fun. So decorate it with any items that bring you joy and get you in the mood to create. You could use plants or put up your favorite artwork or frame photos. You could hang some fairy lights. My third and final tip is to try to create art that is easy and fun to make. Instead of trying to push yourself out of your comfort zone or tackle on a difficult new subject matter, try to stick to subjects that are familiar and enjoyable for you. I found that while it is always valuable to challenge yourself and hone your skills, doing art that is too challenging can be stressful and discouraging. And though it's rarely a bad idea to set ambitious goals for yourself, the journey of ups and downs to reach those goals can be quite exhausting. Practicing is a crucial step in improving your art skills, but the road to improvement is not a perfectly linear upwards trajectory. There will be bumps and failures along the way, and those setbacks can be quite discouraging at times. So sometimes I feel like when you put too much pressure on yourself to always improve and get better, it can tarnish the leisurely zen of just indulging in the creative process and instead make it feel like work or a chore. So given the already elevated levels of stress in our daily lives, I feel like right now we should try to make our hobbies as stress-free as possible. They should be a mental vacation of sorts away from all the stress, not a contributing source of stress. And while there is definitely a lot of positive feelings of accomplishment and fulfillment to be gained from working towards our artistic goals and achieving the milestones that we've set for ourselves, I personally feel like right now is a good time to just prioritize the fun and enjoyment over the rigorous practice and improvement. Plus, I'm a firm believer that no matter what you decide to paint, the simple act of creating and just investing time into making art will help you improve bit by bit without you consciously trying to do it. So if you do want to expand your horizons and not just keep drawing or painting the same thing over and over again, I would also recommend slowly easing your way into more challenging territory. Instead of trying to create an epic, large painting that is a complete departure from your usual comfort zone, maybe just try dipping your foot into the water and taking baby steps out of your comfort zone. It's also important to set the right intentions when you create art. When you have the intention to make something perfect and flawless, you're adding a lot of pressure and high expectations, which will only lead to disappointment if you fail to meet those expectations. However, if your intention is just to have fun, relax, and unwind, you won't be as fixated on the end result, and you will be more able to simply enjoy the moment. You might also end up pleasantly surprising yourself because I found that our mindset and attitude can play such a major role in our artistic capacities. Art is such a personal journey, and if my head is boggled down with negativity, anxiety, and pressure, I often find that it will spill over into the art that I create. Only when I'm able to center myself and clear my mind of all distractions can I create my best work. The one similar intention behind all of the tips I discussed today is to shield every aspect of your creative process away from any negative triggers, while at the same time amplifying all of the positive and therapeutic benefits of art. By getting rid of distractions, setting up an inviting and serene creative space, and also focusing on subjects that will ensure a smooth and easy creative process, we're essentially setting up art as a mental spa retreat. We get enough anxiety and stress from everything else, so it's important to preserve our creative time to be as pristine and untouched as possible. I like to think of art now more than ever as a break from real life. The real world is scary and overwhelming right now, and art gives all of us an opportunity to step out of that real world and into this wonderful, imaginary, creative world that we can create for ourselves within our artwork. So That about wraps up today's video. I hope that these tips were helpful in bringing some joy and relaxation into your life and also to help inspire your creative process. Thank you as always for watching and for your kind and encouraging comments. Now more than ever, I'm so grateful for this amazing and warm art community. So thank you all so much for making this chaotic time just a little easier. If you're interested in purchasing this original painting, you can email the gallery at gch@coreyhelfordgallery.com. And also, once again, this piece will be exhibited in a virtual gallery show opening on April 18th. I'll have all these details listed in the video description as well. I do have fine art prints available of this piece listed in my shop at happyd-artist.com. Also, since we all have a little extra time on our hands, I've decided to extend my spring sale until the end of April. So, if you'd like 20% off of everything in my shop, including originals, just use the code SPRING at happyd-artist.com. And if you're interested in learning more about how to paint and draw, I have lots of art educational content on my Patreon page, including exclusive video tutorials, step-by-step photo tutorials, live streams, podcasts, and even surprise art gift boxes. All available at patreon.com/happydartist. I'd love to have you join my Patreon family. I wanted to quickly thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video and for supporting my channel and the art community. I've actually enjoyed using Squarespace for 4 years now to build and host my online shop and website. So whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com and visit squarespace.com/happydartist for 10% off your first purchase. Also, if you want to check out more artworks, works in progress, and just random daily artist adventures, feel free to check out my Instagram, and you can follow me at the handle @happydartist.